What is going on, Pats Nation? You guys already know who it is. Patriots Global here, back with another video, and in this one, we're going to be talking already about the 2022 NFL Draft. Now, I will say, we're not going to be covering the draft too much leading up into free agency. We will be talking about things a little bit, but for the most part, we're going to be covering free agency for the next couple of months. You'll see some draft stuff mixed in there, here and there, but for the most part, it's going to be free agency, and then once free agency has kind of died down, we'll be flooding 2022 draft content at you guys. But I wanted to get this video out here now about how the Patriots need to grab John Metchie in the 2022 draft. Now, I started my process for the 2022 NFL draft for the New England Patriots, and a name I kept seeing come up was John Metchie. I looked up John Metchie, started doing my profile on him, saw something on Musket Fire about him, and I could not agree more that the Patriots do need to go out and grab this guy. Now, usually I'm not the type of guy that goes out and says the Patriots need to go out and draft this wide receiver 100%. So what makes John Metchie so different? Well, first off, he's well within the Patriots drafting range. And two, he was Mac Jones' favorite red zone target while he was in Alabama, his favorite red zone target during the 2020 season, and somewhere that the Patriots really needed to capitalize the most this offseason was in the red zone. For the Patriots to bring in a guy that already has a rapport with Mac Jones could be really successful for this team right away. This could be a plug-in difference maker for the New England Patriots, and it could really make this draft selection really successful for the Patriots too, because you already have that connection between these guys. It's not one of those things where the connection needs to build over, a few seasons, over a few months. Now, John Metchie actually caught 55 passes for 916 yards from Mac Jones in 2020. Now, John Metchie also has the most red zone targets with 28 since 2020, with also 0 drops. Now, due to Metchie actually tearing his ACL in the SEC title game, this actually dropped his draft status down, so he's not expected to be somebody that goes in the first round, but we will talk about when I believe he will be taken in the draft and what round I think the Patriots should take him in. Now, a little bit about Metchie here. He's 6 foot, 195 pounds. He has 3 seasons under the book at Alabama, continues to be at Alabama too. In 2020 with Mac Jones, he put up a grade of 73.1 according to PFF. That season, he was also averaging 16.7 yards per reception. This past year, he did even better with an overall PFF grade of 78.2. He appeared in 13 games, was involved in 491 total passing snaps. He took 324 of those snaps out wide and then took 164 in the slot. So he brings versatility, but is mainly an outside wide receiver. He was targeted 128 times with 96 receptions for 1,142 yards, averaging 11.9 yards per reception and 8 touchdowns. He was given a receiving grade of 79.5. He was given 2.41 yards per route ran. He has a drop rate of 7.7, a contested catch rate of 61.1, which is really good. And then grade versus man coverage was 80.4. He did really well at the collegiate level when it came to man coverage. Now we'll have to see how that could translate to the NFL, as obviously NFL competition and talent is a whole lot better than it is in college. But if he can continue that up, that is another aspect that New England really needs help at, is their wide receivers, their tight ends, just their pass catchers in general getting open versus man coverage. That was a big issue in 2020 and 2021, was these receivers getting open when it came to press man coverage. Now, despite in 2020 and even since 2020 not dropping a single pass when targeted in the red zone, he did have a little bit of a drop issue just in general in 2021 with a total of 8 drops. He's someone that in college was highly involved in screen passes, so Because we have Josh McDaniels, the offensive coordinator, and loves to call screen passes 45% of the time, he could be another really good system fit and somebody who is really good with the ball in his hands. Now, he is also somebody that has a really good route tree. He's able to run really every route in the book, which just further goes to show his capability within the Patriots offense, why he is such a good scheme fit. He isn't going to be someone who solely gets open based off of speed, and he isn't going to be someone that solely gets passes thrown his way, solely bases his game off of being a physical player that catches 50-50 balls like N'Keal Harry, and that is where the Patriots went wrong. When the Patriots drafted N'Keal Harry, they went with a guy that was very unlike what they need specifically for their system. He was not a good scheme fit. But John Metchie, on the other hand, is an excellent system fit with a repertoire already with your starting quarterback. Now, he was tied for 75th in the collegiate level with 6.7 yards after reception. He was tied for 11th in 20 missed tackles. He was tied for 390th in average depth of target with 8.8. He was tied for 139th in deep catches with 7. He was tied for 229th in deep yards with 177, and then was tied for 4th in screen catches with 33. With that being said, he was also ranked 11th when it came to screen yards. Like I mentioned earlier, he is someone that has experience playing in the slot, doesn't play in the slot too much, which is why he was tied for 80th when it came to slot catches with a total of 42. Slot yards, he was ranked 73rd with 564. And then contested catches, he was tied for 38th with 11. So he does have some contested catch ability. Now, of course, we still have a long way to go to see what happens with the 2022 draft class. We still have the combine. We still have pro days meetings, all of that great stuff, which is going to rise and drop a lot of these players' stocks. Now, either way, I don't see John Metchie being a first-round wide receiver, but currently PFF has him with an ADP of 98.8. which would put him at a 3rd to 4th round selection, which I think would be an excellent range for the Patriots to go in. Again, they don't currently have a 5th and 7th round pick, but they do have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. I'm not a fan specifically of drafting a wide receiver in the 1st round. I don't hate the idea of going receiver in the 2nd, but when we have seen the Patriots draft receivers in the past, it usually is within that range of 3 to 7. I actually think this could be a tremendous steal for the Patriots, a guy who, like I've said several times in this video, fits your offensive scheme tremendously, and again, has that repertoire with Mac Jones. He's going to help you day one. He's going to be a day one plug-in system fit for you, who will help in one of the categories offensively that you struggled with the most, and that was capitalizing once you hit the red zone. This isn't a guy you have to spend a 1st or 2nd round pick on, so the expectations should not be tremendously high as it is, therefore, could really be a steal for New England. Before we end this video, I want to give a huge shout out to the sponsors of the channel, betonline.ag, guys. BetOnline is here. They are better than ever for the postseason, including playoffs and Super Bowl, and there's no better time to bet when it comes to BetOnline, which is the #1 spot for all pro and college football action this season. They have a new updated site and interface with even more odds, props, and contests, and BetOnline continues to be the #1 source for everything football. All you guys have to do is head to the website or use your mobile device to sign up today and receive your 100% off welcome bonus. That is double your initial deposit just for signing up. Do not forget to use that promo code NFL100 all the way from football to basketball to boxing, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Do not wait to take advantage of all of the amazing offers still available for the 2022 season. This is BetOnline, your online sportsbook experts, and BetOnline, the fastest and easiest ways to bet on all your favorite sports. But guys, what are your thoughts on John Metchie? Like always, I will have you guys covered for everything free agency. I'll have you guys covered for everything draft when the time comes. But this is just a little fun video I wanted to throw out there and kind of get you guys familiar, because he's going to be a name that I am going to be ramping up all offseason in my mock drafts. Like always, please make sure you guys leave a big like on this video. Subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. But like always, go Pats.
World.